2015 Subaru Forester. Standardized packaging, no premium, touring, whatever. It's just a 2.5i all-wheel drive. Basically, I had a flat tire, totally flat tire in the, or nail in the tire. I just wanted to walk you through what it took to get the, not only get the tire off, but also the fact that I had to replace some of these wheel studs. They full on broke. From the internet, I'm finding out these are fairly not very robust wheel studs in general, and then secondly, the manufacturer would just the dealer was tightening them on way too tight. So I had 2 wheel studs totally break on me while I was out in the field, and was able to just get 3 on, put my spare on, and got home. So went ahead, used these are the tools I used. My standard jacket came with some lubricant for the wheel studs. I needed some M8. These are M8.125, but essentially they're 60 millimeters. These end up going in here. I needed a couple of these bolts if you want to buy those. Went ahead and bought a big old bag of extra lug nuts since I knew 2 of them died on me, and then some wheel studs. I bought some spares because I had a feeling I was going to go through more down the road. Additionally, a socket wrench with some 14, 13, and 12 millimeters, and then I used an impact. I could do the same thing with my impact, and it's a 19 millimeter socket on it with the wrench, but I essentially keep in my vehicle a 19 millimeter socket with a breaker bar to help me loosen things, or loosen and tighten in the field. Anyway, step 1 was to remove the caliper itself. As you can see, it's already removed. I'm showing you after I finished, but there are 2 bolts, and those 2 bolts, this caliper on, are going to come off of here and here. They're 14 millimeters. They're just going to be one there and one there. So a little bit of penetrating oil on them, then tighten or loosen them off, pull them off. You're also going to do another bolt here that is a, let's double check that. I think that's the 12 millimeter. Yep, sorry, just checking that real quick. So that was a 12 millimeter bolt. It comes out, it's part of that brake line, and you'll wiggle that and it'll pop right off, no problem. Okay, so you move all that, you tie it up and out of the way, kind of like as I've done here. And then you're gonna come in here. One tool I'm not showing is the mallet, but essentially you'll get that tire off as best you can. Pray you don't have to cut anything, that would be miserable. But got the tire off, broke the 2 wheel studs, then you're down to this, and you get the caliper off, and then you're down to the wheel hub. So yes, my wheel hub's rusty because it rained last night, right before I got all my parts in to do the job. So when you jack up the vehicle, in this case, do not engage the parking brake, the e-brake, right? Do not engage that, lower that down, because what you're gonna do is you're gonna pound with the hammer all the way around, just once to help loosen stuff up. You're gonna take your M8s, stick them both in. Sorry about that. And you're gonna slowly tighten them down by hand, and then using the socket, you just keep tightening it, and pound down. So you tighten once, tighten the other one, pound, 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 tighten one, pound, 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 pound. And that'll slowly work its way out to the point where you can literally just grab this wheel hub and pull it off. So I'm just gonna show you real quick what that looks like, so bear with me here. So the wheel hub, I take 2 hands and I just pull it straight out, this is essentially, you know, that drum brake looking assembly for your parking brake. So when you pull that, it expands. So that's why you want to make sure it's down all the way. Once you're here, essentially you can literally just take that. I used a metal hammer, a ball peen actually, but just a hammer, and I pounded the other ones out. They come straight out, and then there's a nice little gap right in here. So once they come out, you put your new ones in. So I put my new one in. I put a little bit of lubricant around this portion of the wheel stud. So this portion right here, a little bit of lubricant all the way around, just to help slide things in. And then I went ahead and I spent the 20 bucks on this exact component here, and I'll show you what I bought. But this is the make and model. It's literally a wheel stud installer. What makes this unique or helps, right? So it's got a bearing here and a bearing to help make sure that everything rotates nicely and smoothly, as well as it's tapered, so it helps keep the lug nut. So this is the lug nut I used. I used a throwaway lug nut, so to speak, and it keeps it centered over top. Okay, so it goes on like this, And then I used, you can do this manually of course, but I used my impact on a 2 setting, so not at full power essentially, and was able to help drive. And what that does is it takes that wheel stud in a smooth hole here, and it drives this part all the way in nice and flush. So you can see that it's now flush. Yep, and there's some lubricant right there, so flush and with the lube coming out. And now I'm ready for reassembly. So that's the nice part, all the wheel studs are on. I'm gonna use maybe some brake cleaner to help make sure there's no lubricant here anymore. It's nice and dry, so that way the brake continues to work well. And then I'm gonna slide the wheel hub back on and reassemble, just the way I took it off. So hopefully that kind of walks you through the overview of all the pieces I needed and what it took.